One of the best things about WWE in the year of 2020 has to surely be the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business on all fronts are just an awesome stable, and in this video I'm going to talk about just them, really. It's pretty self-explanatory. Talk about what makes them great, why I and a lot of people enjoy them, why they've overcome traditionally what Vince McMahon would, put as a quota, and Vince McMahon would do as a, oh yeah, we'll throw all the black guys together into a group and they'll just run out there and no one will care. The Hurt Business and the talent involved has overcome that to really become like an awesome group, and a group that is consistently one of the best parts of Monday Night Raw, one of the groups and the things that keeps me even remotely interested in watching Monday Night Raw. So that's going to be today's video. Hope that you guys enjoy. Smash the like button. Trying to hit 50 likes in this video. That'd be sick if we could. So yeah, 50 likes is the target. Comment down below your thoughts on the Hurt Business, all that kind of stuff. So right away, I want to say MVP, when he came into WWE this year, he returned at the Rumble. He then was a bit like off TV, did the VIP lounge, the stuff with McIntyre in February. He was in and around for a bit. He had a match with Apollo Crews in like April. He was on the show, but he wasn't really doing anything. MVP was basically directionless. He was just yet another, former superstar from the 2000s who WWE brought in to have a bit of nostalgia, but then in reality he was kind of dying a slow death in the current product because they didn't really have anything to go on, which, to be fair, hardly any superstars have anything to go on nowadays. But nonetheless, MVP, he was essentially irrelevant in February, March, April. And then he started working with Bobby Lashley. And this is where the wheels started turning. We had MVP managing Bobby Lashley. Lashley was coming off like an 8-month-long saga ordeal with Lana, Rusev, even Liv Morgan for a little bit. Lashley was coming off that. So Lashley's reputation was damaged. He wasn't really taken seriously at all. Then MVP starts working with Lashley. These two people who've been misused for a while start working together. Things start blossoming. MVP is just a perfect mouthpiece of Bobby Lashley. It just clicks. It just works. Lashley, the muscle, the beast, the almighty, doing his his submission lock at the end, and then MVP doing the promos, being the mouthpiece. It worked out really well. Okay, you can put these guys in suits. They look the part. They look like legit pro wrestlers. They look like guys who look like wrestlers. They don't just look like random bums off the street. So you take that. Then as the months go by, Shelton Benjamin gets recruited to the Hurt Business. Shelton Benjamin's a guy who, God knows how long he's been back in WWE. I don't even know off the top of my head. He's been back in the company for a while now. He, much like MVP, much like even Lashley to an extent, was essentially irrelevant. And Shelton Benjamin, he was a guy who he'd get his match on WWE main event every now and then. He'd maybe show up at a live event when they were doing them, but really outside of that, Shelton Benjamin had no real place. No, WWE weren't desperately trying to think of storylines for Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin, his heyday was the 2000s. Shelton Benjamin's most well known for his IC title run back in 2004. His match with Shawn Michaels where he ate just a filthy super kick. His work with Team Angle, all that kind of stuff. That's what Shelton Benjamin's known for, and all that stuff was 17 years ago. So to see Shelton Benjamin at this stage of his career join MVP, join Lashley, form this stable, and then as the time went by, around August, about there, Cedric Alexander got recruited to the Hurt Business. Okay, Cedric, just like Shelton Benjamin, just like MVP, he's someone who prior to this was in absolute obscurity. Cedric Alexander especially, he's one of these guys, WWE have so many of these guys who have lots of talent, who have lots of potential, lots of good opportunities ahead of them if WWE use them. But Bruce Pritchard, Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn don't choose to use these talents like Cedric, like a Ricochet, Apollo Crews, Ali, all these type of guys, because by and large they're all very similar, great athletic wrestlers, great just talents in the ring, but as far as just kind of promos and talking, they really lack that presentation. So in that regard, Cedric Alexander was just kind of wasting away. And then he joined MVP, Shelton Benjamin, Lashley, formed the Hurt Business. This stable, I'm not going to go as far as to say that it's like a modern day evolution, because the personnel involved aren't as good as Randy Orton, Triple H, Batista, and Ric Flair. I think that's an exaggeration. But as far as what they bring to the table, they bring a sense of cool to the table. They bring a sense of credibility. The name, the Hurt Business. At first, I was a bit it's alright, but it's really grown on me, and it's grown on a lot of people. The Hurt Business is a cool name, it's a cool stable, and really, one of the things that makes me so happy about this stable is that traditionally with WWE, we've seen this over the course of their history. What they've done a lot of times is Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, people, higher up management backstage has taken, black, African American wrestlers, people of color, wrestlers of color, group them together and given them no direction. I look at something like the Primetime Players. Perfect example. Primetime, they grouped the black guys together. They were entertaining. That's at least a start, but there wasn't any insane direction. And there's a couple of other examples over the course of wrestling history. The Nation of Domination, to an extent. You kind of take my point here. WWE, with the Hurt Business, they didn't just group the black dudes together and have no direction. Okay, because of the greatness of MVP and what he's been able to do, he's really given this group a purpose. He's given this group the it factor, which has been so great to see, because there would have been nothing worse than MVP, Shelton Benjamin, Lashley, and Cedric Alexander. They're in some group, no one cares about it. It's not captivating, it's just wasting time on Raw. It's not one of these Raw acts which comes out and you just couldn't care less. But it couldn't be further from that. When MVP cuts a promo, when the Hurt Business are in their suits making their entrance, it's cool. You want to see what's MVP going to say next. What are they going to do next? What's this act going to do, and what storyline they're going to be a part of? And personally, I think the Hurt Business can do a whole lot more than they're doing now. I'll say that much. I think I'm going to be dropping this video before I do my How I Booked WWE Raw December 28th, 2020 video. So in that video, you're going to see the type of stuff that I do with the Hurt Business, and boy oh boy, some of that stuff is sick. But nevertheless, the Hurt Business are cool. They're great, and they're not even being fully utilized. I think there's so much cool stuff you can do with this stable. Because yes, them coming out in their suits with their championship belts, it looks fantastic. I think aesthetically as a visual, it looks brilliant. And really, when it comes to them, I think having Lashley be the US champion, that belt looks just sensational. Lashley holding that title is perfect. Having Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin as the Raw Tag Team Champions, that's perfect as well. I couldn't think of better tag team champions at the moment. Cedric Alexander, giving him an opportunity to really be a champion in WWE. Yes, he was Cruiserweight champion, but being a Raw Tag Team champion means more than the Cruiserweight title did, even though the Raw Tag title, yes, it was killed the moment a 10-year-old won it at WrestleMania 34. Yes, the belt was dead on arrival, basically. But nonetheless, it's on the main roster. It's a part of the Hurt Business. It's an act that actually gets TV time. So it's big for Cedric Alexander. It's cool for Shelton Benjamin to get an opportunity like that at this stage of his career. So that's really good. MVP, it's just awesome for him to see that he can enhance three wrestlers who are basically directionless, take them all from floundering and going through the motions to legitimate, credible, really important. It's just dope to see. So really, that's that. And now what I want to do is talk about one thing that I tweeted the other day, where I basically tweeted, and I put this out on my YouTube community post, I put out a little scenario about how, potentially Keith Lee, for example, Keith Lee turns heel at the Rumble. Okay, Keith Lee turns heel, he wins the Royal Rumble match, then goes on to WrestleMania. Okay, Keith Lee wins the WWE Championship from Drew McIntyre, joins the Hurt Business in the process. Okay, so the Hurt Business hold all the gold. We have Keith Lee as WWE Champion, we have Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin as the Raw Tag Team Champions, and we have Lashley as US Champion. And then MVP could be the mouthpiece, potentially give him the 24/7 title if you want to go that far. I wouldn't, but yeah, you can have those guys holding all the titles. I've seen some people, that tweet did very well, 1,200 likes or something. I've seen every reaction in the book. I've seen the full spectrum of reactions to that booking situation. I've seen some people say, oh, that's racist. Oh, put all the black guys together. Oh, that's a good move. I'm thinking to myself, okay, wait a minute. Instead of just saying, oh, you're lumping the black guys together, that's racist, how about you look at what they're doing in that situation? I'm putting Keith Lee with the Hurt Business because it enhances everyone involved and gives Keith Lee a true main event spotlight. So that's enhancing Keith Lee. That ain't racism. Sorry about that. So then I saw people saying, oh, that's the best thing I've ever seen. And to that I say, thank you. I know I'm a creative genius. Just please, my ego loves it when you say that. So, that was that. And then I've seen, people in between saying, oh, Lashley should be the champion. Lashley's the muscle of the group. And to that I say, okay, you can have Lashley and the Hurt Business turn on Keith Lee, and then Keith Lee becomes a babyface again, and you can do Lashley versus Keith Lee for the WWE title at SummerSlam 2021. Easy. So it's a win-win all round either way. So that's why I hope they do it with the Hurt Business. Just in general, I think the Hurt Business, as the title of the video says, the Hurt Business are awesome. There's no two ways about it. This stable is just absolutely phenomenal. I think everything they've done this year, by and large, has been really good. MVP has taken 3 guys who are in absolute obscurity, elevated them to a point where they're captivating, they're compelling. I want to see them on TV. When they're on pay-per-view on TV, I'm interested. They look cool, they're interesting. So, yeah, you guys get the point. The Hurt Business are awesome. Hopefully you think so, because I think almost objectively speaking, this act has been wonderful for everyone involved, and it's just an awesome act all around. So, yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, and drill. See ya.